Hi, welcome to our channel of IGNOU Audiobooks, Indira Gandhi National Open University, School of Management Studies, SOMS, Bachelor's Degree Programs, BBA in Retailing, BBA, Retailing, Diploma in Retailing, DIR, First Year, BRL-001 Overview of Retailing, Unit-1 Retail Scenario, 1.0 Objectives. After studying this unit, you will be able to define retailing and appreciate the importance of retail industry, explain the structure of retail sector in India, describe of retail industry in the global context, identify factors contributing to the rapid growth of organized retail in India and analyze the impact of economic liberalization. 1.1 Introduction. Perhaps the most important role of bringing the ready-to-be-consumed state goods to the doorstep of the consumer is performed by the retail community. The word retail is derived from the French word retailler, meaning to cut again or to break bulk. Some of the cut functions retailers perform include sorting and storing, packing and selling in small quantities to the final consumers, thus adding value. Retailing is the largest private sector in the world and the prime mover of the economy. It accounts for almost 10% of the GDP of most developed nations. Retailing globally is huge, $6.6 billion, and much of it is organized. The industry is also a major employer in most of the economies, up to 16% in US, 15% in Brazil, 12% in Poland and 7% in China. 1.2 Retailing in India. Retailing is the most active and attractive sector of the last decade. While the retailing industry has been present throughout history in our country, it is only in the recent past that it has witnessed so much dynamism. It's the latest bandwagon that has witnessed hordes of players leaping onto it. While international retail store chains have caught the fancy of many travelers abroad, the action was missing from the Indian business scene. With the liberalization and growth of the Indian economy since the early 1990s, the Indian customer witnessed an increasing exposure to new domestic and foreign products through different media, such as television and the internet. Apart from this, social changes such as increase in the number of nuclear families and the growing number of working couples resulting in increased spending power also contributed to the increase in the Indian consumers' personal consumption. These changes had a positive impact, leading to the rapid growth in the retailing industry, increased availability of retail space, rapid urbanization, and qualified manpower also boosted the growth of the organized retailing sector. Food retailing was a key area that saw some action at the national level, with players like Food World, SOMS, etc., establishing stores all over India. While supermarket and departmental chains replaced traditional grocery and general store formats. Introduction of fast foods, McDonald's, packaged foods, MTR, MTR, vending machines and specialty beverage parlors, Nescafe, Tata Tea, Caf Coffee and Barista, brought about significant changes in the eating habits of Indian consumers. As mentioned earlier, India has over 5 million retail outlets, most of them being small, family-operated stores. Only 8% of Indian population is engaged in retailing, compared to 10% in the USA. Yet, just next to agriculture, the retail sector contributes to highest percentage of employment. Indian retail industry has seen a phenomenal growth in the last 5 years. Organized retailing has finally emerged from the shadows of unorganized retailing and is contributing significantly to the growth of Indian retail sector. Research reports show that organized retail will form 10% of total retailing by the end of this decade, 2010. With the rapid growth in retail sales, employment opportunities in retailing, will also grow rapidly. A few lakhs of jobs are expected to be created in retail over the next few years. Retailing has great impact on economic development of a nation. It provides employment opportunities to the poorest and unskilled. A small shop can be set up with minimal investment. A vibrant retail sector benefits the consumers by providing access to a wide range of products and services efficiently. A healthy retail sector promotes industrial growth and speeds up economic development. Retailing also helps to create place, time, and possession utilities. Successful retailers also recognize that people want to see the improvements in the general level of consumption and social cohesion over time. Retailers have to enhance their perceived value to the community by acting as a focal point and through effective public relations and promotional campaign including sponsorship. Shiksha program taken up by PG provided education to poor children. It was funded by earmarking certain percentage of purchase price of companies' products. India has been called as a nation of shopkeepers due to the large number of mom and pop stores dotting each small and big town and city. This is slowly changing as organized retail asserts itself, with Chennai, Bangalore and Hyderabad in the south and sleepy little towns like Rudrapur in the north latching themselves to the retail story. India is gradually evolving as an exciting and competitive marketplace with potential target consumers in almost all categories, right from the local recently converted departmental store in a colony to the hypermarkets. India is the toast of the world's top global brands and retailers, and the retail sector is keen on reinventing itself thanks to the following: rising income, change in consumer behavior, media explosion, corporatization of retail, new breed of entrepreneurs, entry of foreign retailers. 1.3 Meaning and importance of retailing. Before we discuss the importance of retailing, let us try to understand what is retailing by considering some of the definitions of retailing. The word retailing is derived from the French word retailer, meaning to cut a piece off or to break a bulk. Retailers perform specific activities such as anticipating customer wants, stating the sorts of products, acquiring market information and financing. According to Philip Kotler, retailing includes all the activities involved in selling goods or services to the final consumers for personal and non-business use. A retailer or a retail store is any business enterprise whose sales volume comes primarily from retailing. A retailer may primarily sell goods such as a grocery store or a bookstore, or a retailer may primarily sell services such as beauty parlor or a theater. Retailing is thus a combination of activities involved in selling or renting of consumer goods or services directly to the ultimate customers for their personal or household use. In addition to selling, retailing includes such diverse activities as buying, advertising, data processing, manpower management and maintenance of inventory. 1.4 Functions of a retailer. Retail scenario. While meeting the needs of customers, following are some of the functions performed by a retailer. Accessibility of location, products and services have no value for consumers until they are acquired and used by the customers. Retailers acquire products and services from different places and assort them at a single point as per the needs of the consumers and thus facilitate customers' access. Convenience of timing. Retailers stock goods and ensure the availability of products and services just when the customer needs them. Convenience stores operate over extended hours through the week and give customers greater flexibility and choice. Convenience of size. Retailers break bulk and serve the products in quantitous sizes as desired by the customer. For example, shampoo is available in small sachets. Information. The retailer provides useful information across the supply chain. He informs and educates customers about product features and benefits. He also provides feedback about consumer requirements to the manufacturers and wholesalers, which help them in planning production and supply. Lifestyle support consumption of goods and services influences lifestyle of consumers and help people to build their identity in a social setting. The retailer helps consumer by providing appropriate products, service and advice. 1.5 Global Retail Scenario. After understanding the importance and functions of retailing at the national level, let us discuss the growth of retailing in the global context. Retailing has become an intrinsic part of our daily lives. Nations that have enjoyed the greatest economic and social progress have a vibrant retail sector. Retailing is one of the most important industries in the world and plays a predominant role in economic development of the country. Globally, retailing is the largest revenue generator and employment provider next only to agriculture. Retail industry is predominant in developed countries like USA, UK, etc. In India, it is an upcoming industry. Organized sector accounts for over 50% of retail sales in most developed countries including USA, UK, Germany, France, etc. Even in developing countries like Brazil, Mexico and China, the share of organized retail is much higher than in India. In USA, the source retail industry employs about 22 million people and generates more than $3 trillion sales annually. Before the Second World War, the retail sector in USA largely consisted of small family-run stores popularly called mom and pop stores. After the war, with the fast growth in income and changing lifestyles in USA, the modern retail sector, dominated by large stores and run by professional management, began to gain importance. Walmart was established in 1960s. It provided goods at very low prices by buying in bulk and developing very efficient logistics. Over the years, Walmart grew exponentially and has become the largest retailer in the world. There is a huge concentration of large retail firms in USA, 10% of food and general merchandise. Firms account for over 40% of all retail sales. Some of these large retail chains eliminate the wholesalers and buy direct from the manufacturers, making the supply chain very efficient. In Japan, on the other hand, small firms and stores govern the retail sector. The wholesale channel is relatively much larger. Merchandise has to pass through 3 to 4 channel members before reaching the store. This results in reduced efficiency and higher manpower and distribution costs. In Japan, 20% of workforce is employed in retail as against 10% in USA. In Europe, there is a high concentration of retail sales in some countries like UK and Germany. In UK, over 80% of retail sales in food are accounted by 5 large chains. In Southern Europe, the market is more fragmented and we find traditional small family-owned stores dominating the markets. As retail chains expand and spread their operations, they are focusing on development of private brands. Private brand is the licensed brand of a retailer. These are exclusive and only available at outlets of a specific retailer. Marks Spencer stores, for example, carry St. Michael brand. In India, West Side has emphasized private brands while Shoppers Stop focuses more on manufacturers' brand or brands available across retail chains. However, Shoppers Stop has also developed private brands like Stop and Kashish. Super markets like Food World and Trinithra have also branded grocery products. The use of Private brand enables retailers to maintain an image of exclusiveness and develop a loyal clientele. It also enables them to quote lower price since retailers do not have to promote or spend heavily on advertisement of private brands whose circulation is limited to the chain. Manufacturers are adapting their marketing strategies to the needs of modern retail. They often develop products exclusively for a specific retail chain. Many consumer durable companies in India, for example, sell customized washing machines and refrigerator sets through hypermarkets like Big Bazaar, etc. 1.6 Emerging trends in Indian retailing. There are close to 12 million tiny retail outlets dotting India. This shows that it is highly fragmented. Changing lifestyles, increasing working couples, and as a result rising disposable income are driving the retail story in India, especially in the organized sector. The organized sector in the country has been growing at 6% per annum and is now focusing attention on the 300 million middle-class consumers including rural customers, who together forms market worth $100 billion, which 110 entity can choose to ignore. Approximately 100 full-fledged malls and 300 smaller malls and multiplexes are in operating, and many smaller malls are under construction. Alt 5 of the organized sector is heavily outnumbered by the local kirana shops, yet the large number of products hitting the market practical every day has ensured that both the shelf space and the shelf life for these new products is largely limited, paving the way for departmental stores and their ilk. In the present situation, many entrants are trying to find the best possible way of gaining a foothold in the Indian retail market. Most are targeting the middle class and are growing rapidly, but those targeting the upper end of the market are finding the climb difficult to handle. The organ 1-C.D sector is facing some tough times from the unorganized sector. They are lapping themselves on the lines of multinational retailers as they are ingenious by nature, thus paving the way for departmental stores, self-service stores as well as specialty stores. The market is going through turbulent times as it seeks to transform itself on the lines of 3 CAs at Lajpat Nagar, New Delhi. The consumer today asks for and gets the best of combination of food, shopping and entertainment. This has led mall developers to think long and hard while selecting the location and the choice of entertainment, food and shopping, not necessarily in that order. Spread of organized retailing. Organized retailing is spreading and making its presence felt in different parts of the country. The trend in grocery retailing, however, has been slightly different with growth concentration in the south. However, it is Chennai which is leading. For example, what was considered a traditional, conservative and cost-conscious market has been host to most of the successful retail names: Food World, Vithan, Subhiksha, Music World, Health and Glow and Vivex, to name a few. The choice of Chennai as the retail hub should not be surprising as a number of factors were conducive. Chennai has reasonable real estate prices, one of the most critical elements for the industry. Chennai has been witnessing a high industrial growth and increasing presence of the MNCs, both in the IT sector as well as outside it. The industrial boom has led to new residential areas with a large number of professionals as well as a rapid increase in the number of double-income households and growth of the nouveau rich upper middle class with increased purchasing power. This has been combined with the increasing need for touch and feel shopping, especially for the large migrant population. All the factors have acted favorably in nurturing the industry in the country. Retail is the new buzzword, which is growing rapidly and is set to conquer newer heights. New formats are emerging in the market at a furious pace, requiring newer technologies, people and customers. To take an example, we have ATMs and convenience stores at petrol pumps, all-night convenience stores coming up for working couples. 1.7 factors influencing the growth of retail in India. What is still unique about the Indian retail story is the languages people speak. The religions followed, the socio-cultural diversity in terms of food consumed, the fabric and type of clothes worn, the different festivals celebrated changing practically every 100 kilometers. Let us therefore find out why despite all this, India is a toast of the world for retailing. India is the world's iconed most populous country. Its GDP is likely to surpass China by 2015. It is estimated that it will surpass GDP of US by 2050. Consumer expenditure has been growing at a healthy 10% PA in the past 2 years. India has the largest young population in the world. Estimates reveal that there are more English-speaking people in India than European and Asian continents. The retail industry in India estimated at $270 billion in 2003 and is expected to grow to $440 billion by 2010 of the total retail market. Food and groceries retail is the single largest block, estimated to be about 64,22,000 crores rupees. Total retail in India registered 5.7% YoY growth from 2004 to 6 to range between that and 6% YoY over the next few years. The energy in terms of new investment is expected towards supermarkets and hypermarkets. The future estimates for organized retail in India are 11 rupees 1,500 crores by 2008, 1,62,000 crores rupees by 2009 and 2,35,000 crores rupees by 2010, ensuring success in retailing. 1. Consumer-focused selling. Focus should be on the customer, his demand and high changing tastes and preferences. Due to the diversity of the country, standardization in format is possible for the entire population. 2. Simple over complex. As life becomes more complicated and stressful, simple 1. Things will be preferred over complicated, difficult to understand products and service. 3. Time saving. Each customer wants to save as much time as possible. Thus, focus should be on providing improved service through properly trained staff and providing customer convenience. 4. Trust. The customer frequents that retailer who is able to develop a relationship, trust with the end customer. Other factors are maintaining low cost of operations, investment in appropriate and cost-effective technology, focusing on customer service and loyalty, building a reliable supply chain and logistics systems. Making and maintaining private brands, reduce shrinkage and pilferage. Some facts to happen in retailing. Plaza Centers, a subsidiary of Elbit Medical Imaging, an Israeli company, announces to invest a large sum of 5,000 crore rupees to set up 50 shopping malls in India. The project will take place over the next 5 to 7 years. Inorbit Malls, India, PVT Ltd, owned by property developer K. Raheja, is planning to introduce a multitude of luxury malls and discount malls. The company is also considering coming up with 2 more formats, which could include the Inorbit name and a new sub-brand name. Retail scenario. The Wadia Group has recently entered into a 50-50 joint venture with Simon Global Limited to make it big in Indian retail sector. Having carved a niche in construction business, the $24 billion Aditya Group has now set sights on the fast-developing retail sector. The group had recently acquired southern retail chain Trinethra and unveiled the brand name of its store. More also, the group has plans to invest a whopping 9,000 crore rupees to enter into the $320 billion retail market, Tel Aviv-based mall giant Gazette Globe has tied up with one of the HDFC funds to pump in $150 million into developing assets, including supermarket-anchored retail play. Big shopping group of Israel's biggies has teamed up with Lehman Brothers, real estate private equity to set up open malls in Tier I and Tier 11 cities. Some of the data on the retail sector in India makes for interesting reading. For in 4 tons, the CII Kearney retail study shows that retailing is the largest contributing sector to the country's GDP. Besides, the retail sector contributes about 10% to the GDP compared to 8% in China, 6% in Brazil and a matching 10% in the US. India is estimated to have around 15 million retail outlets, making it a country with the highest retail outlet density in the world. It also tops at Kearney's list of emerging markets for global retailers. Currently, the value of the retail market is estimated at around $270 billion with a growth rate of 5.7% per annum according to the India Retail Report 2007. In addition, 96% of the total retail trade in the country is in the unorganized sector. The size of the organized retail market in 2006 was estimated at 48,500 crore rupees, making up 4.7% of the retail market. As for job potential, the retail industry is the second largest employer after agriculture, employing about 6 to 7% of the total workforce. Data clearly show that the retail sector is not only extremely large but provides a huge amount of jobs in this country. The entry of the organized large retail chains may not have an immediate impact on the trading community. But in the long run, it is clear that small traders and retailers will be affected and the government cannot ignore the issue. 1.8 Challenges for retail in India are expansion versus job market. The industry is facing a shortage of middle management level professionals. Major retailers are hiring aggressively from the similar and smaller organizations by offering better packages. They are creating various levels of management and hiring on a spree. Some of the areas such as technology, supply chain, distribution, logistics, marketing, product development and research are becoming very critical for the success of the organizations. All of these would lead to the recruitment of highly professional people who specialize in these fields. The sector is likely to produce 2 million jobs in the coming 3 years. There also exists a possibility that the retail sector would become a poaching ground once the number of domestic and international players enter the industry. Supply chain management. The retail scenario is characterized by logistical challenges, constant changes in consumer preferences and evolution of new retail formats. All this increases the challenges faced by the industry. Various strategies are to be implemented to improve core business processes such as logistics, innovation, transparency, distribution and inventory, management of point sale, POS, data. Retail majors are under serious pressure to improve their supply chain systems and distribution channels or reach the levels of quality and service desired by the consumers. Frauds in retail. It is one of the primary challenges retail companies would have to face. Frauds, including vendor frauds, thefts, shoplifting and inaccuracy in supervision and administration are the challenges that are difficult to handle. This is so even after the use of security techniques such as CCTVs and POS systems. As the size of the sector would increase, the number of thefts, frauds, discrepancies, etc. in the system would also increase. Challenges with infrastructure and logistics. Lack of proper infrastructure and distribution channels in the country results in inefficient processes. This is a major hindrance for retailers as a non-efficient distribution channel is very difficult to handle and can result in huge losses. Infrastructure does not have a strong base in India. Urbanization and globalization are compelling companies to develop infrastructure facilities. Transportation, including railway systems, has to be more efficient. Highways have to meet global standards. Airport capacities and power supply have to be enhanced. Warehouse facilities and timely distribution are other areas of challenge. To fully utilize India's potential in retail sector, these major obstacles have to be removed by the parties involved in retail industry. 1.9 Al Pact of Economic Liberalization, post-1990, following economic liberalization, the retail sector has grown rapidly and modern retail sector has assumed importance. Post after liberalization, many foreign companies have invested in India. We see proliferation of both foreign and Indian brands. The competition in the market has intensified and consumers have become more discerning, envy, and demanding. They seek well-known brands and are willing to pay a premium low one, service and quality. Franchising has grown rapidly and many foreign retailers including McDonald's, Pizza Hut, KFC etc. have set up franchisees. Currently, India restricts FDI in retail. Foreign retailers are allowed 100% investment only in case of single brand outlets, e.g. Nike, Adidas, or in franchising operations, example, McDonald's, KFC. However, FDI is allowed in back-end operations, e.g. in developing supply chain and logistics. Walmart has tied up with Bharti to establish back-end operations in India. Unlike India, other developing countries like China and Malaysia have been more open to FDI in retail and have hence attracted higher investments. Government of India has, however, opened up the real estate sector, allowing 100% of FDI in construction projects. The Foreign Trade Policy 2005-6 has extended the benefit of the Export Promotion Capital Goods (EPCG) to the real estate sector. This in turn is expected to boost organized retail. In India, there is an ongoing debate on policy towards foreign direct investment (FDI) in retail. Those advocating more favorable policy on FDI argue that entry of foreign retailers will benefit customers by making wide range of goods and services available at lower cost. They also point out that FDI in retail will greatly improve supply chain and back-end infrastructure. The entry of foreign chains will also bring latest technology and management practices and help Indian retail chains integrate with global supply chains. This will result in greater efficiency and prosperity. Opponents of FDI in retail are worried about likely impact of FDI on small retailers and middlemen. 1.10 Summary: Retailing encompasses business activities involved with the sale of goods and services to the final consumer for personal, family, or household use. It is the final stage in the channel of distribution. The retail sector has played a phenomenal role throughout the world in increasing productivity of consumer goods and services. It is also the second largest industry in US in terms of number of employees and establishments. There is no denying the fact that most of the developed economies rely on their retail sector as a locomotive for growth. The Indian retail industry is the largest among all the industries, accounting for over 10% of the country's GDP and around 8% of the employment. The retail industry in India has emerged as one of the most dynamic and fast-paced industries, with several players entering the market. Many of them have not yet tasted success because of the heavy initial investments that are required to break even in retail and other initial challenges. In India, the retail industry is gradually inching its way towards becoming the next boom. Greater urbanization, favorable government policies, rising income levels and changing lifestyle have contributed to growth of retailing industry in India. Congestion in metros and high rentals in central business districts and unfavorable labor laws and land-related legislations have restricted growth of the organized retail industry. Due to the changing lifestyle and advances in technology, non-store retailing including teleshopping, retailing and catalog retailing is growing rapidly. Thank you. Subscribe to our channel for more updates, and we will see you with the next chapter.